7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What is good, everyone? It is your boy Politic at Hot alongside my guys, Mr. Joey Woods, Mr. Moyo Fit, Chris Wilson, Mr. Rich Michaels will be joining us momentarily. We are Still Steps coming to you live on a beautiful Friday evening, courtesy of All Authentic Talk Sports Network. Gentlemen, how are we doing on a Super Bowl weekend for our Philadelphia Eagles?
It looks like Chris right now hears that the birds got that flu going around, so he's covering up with that mask real fast to make sure.
The bird flu is out. The bird flu is out.
Don't say that shit, man. That shit is out. We don't want to put that on anyone.
That's what I'm saying. Chicken is at an all-time high. And like, man, I need my protein.
Sure.
About chicken. Did you see the fucking people stole eggs?
Yeah.
The egg price is so high they stole 40 cartons of eggs.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Bro,
40 cartons of organic eggs they stole from the truck because the egg price is too high.
Egg prices are ridiculous, bro. Yo, remember back in the day? Like this is probably me and Hakeem's era more than yours, Joey. Remember Mischief Night, the night before Halloween?
That shit's dead. That's dead.
Ain't nobody ever doing that again.
Right.
The parents like, do you know the price of eggs?
I just say, people were just like, man, damn that, bro. You gonna throw pennies or something like
throwing eggs at cars.
Same thing with toilet paper. Do you know the price of toilet paper?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
All this,
say that.
Never.
That was our ramble for the night, guys.
Right. Yeah, real quick before we cut it off, like imagine like everybody hates Chris' dad, Julius, dealing with today's prices with food and stuff. Like, you know how much that costs? You know how much one wing costs?
real quick, because like I watch Abbott, right?
Yes.
And that actor is still on it. Do you know how often I wish, like when he talks about his dad and stuff, like I so often wish that Terry Crews would just appear. They're gonna be the same guy, just play a similar dad.
Right, right.
Yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean, but no, that love Abbott Elementary. And they
rep the city perfectly.
Yeah, I was about to say another Philadelphia theme.
Yeah, they had a crossover 2 weeks ago, which was cool as shit. Abbott Always Sunny.
It's Always Sunny. Yeah, I actually got to catch that episode. That's the only episode I've have yet to see. I've watched
that's two shows, bro. That does it. That it does the city justice in terms of like they might exaggerate a little bit, but they do describe us like in our fandom and stuff like that,
right?
Perfectly.
And look, and that don't happen often either.
No,
at all.
With the horrible fake accents they try to give us and stuff.
Right. That's cool. Love is love. But we are here to talk that turnbuckle talk. It's definitely been an eventful week of pro wrestling, you know, going far as back to last Saturday with the Royal Rumble, leading up to SmackDown that's currently in progress. Looks like we got on the screen McIntyre, LA Knight, and Jimmy Uso going at it. I think this is for a chamber spot, correct? Yeah, so that's you know what I mean, going. So you know what I mean, to those that are tuned in, if you're not actually tuned in to SmackDown, you know, we'll give you a little bit of play-by-play as we're.
Can I ask you guys a question about that match though?
Sure.
So when it was announced, right? You're seeing it and you're like, okay, LA Knight, the run he's been on recently, you could realistically see him get a spot in the chamber. Drew McIntyre, the run he's been on, realistically see him win a spot in the chamber. Where the fuck does Jimmy Uso come from?
I got a theory on Jimmy. Y'all want to just kick it off right here? Just start there?
Yeah, let's go.
I got a theory on Jimmy, and it all stems from last Friday where he was, you know what I mean, preparing to go, you know what I mean, to his match against Carmelo. And if you looked in the background, you could just see like Shinsuke eyeing Jimmy down for some reason, and then he just walks off. So I got a feeling they're going somehow he's going to be in the title picture for United States Championship. When I don't know, maybe possibly before Mania, but for some reason I got a theory that possible feud could be developing.
That'd be a great Mania match, honestly.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do a singles push for Jimmy, like not to like the level of his brother, but as a top mid card, I think they're gonna push him to that level of a mid card title type, something like that. Even if it's not Shinsuke right away, but eventually I think they will.
But to be fair to your point, Chris, I think that was originally the plan for Jay, was to push him to the top of the mid card, and that's where he would kind of stay. I just think he got too over to where he kind of surpassed that expectation. But I think that's what was the idea for Jay.
Yeah, if Jimmy does that though, so what happened with Jay was that it was like a domino effect of things that just happened to work out for him. Like honestly, the yeet stuff, nobody knew that was going to get over. Like,
yeah.
First of all, that word is like 4 years past his prime.
Wasn't that like random? Like when they were quote unquote drunk when they won the titles together.
Yeah, like the word.
He just started randomly saying it during a press conference, and it kind of stuck.
Yeah, they just started saying yeet, and like this.
Him
So
and
like,
Cody?
I was hearing people say it. Like honestly, the younger generation was saying yeet for whatever reason. I was seeing all over social media, and I started seeing them saying it, the Usos saying it a lot, but it wasn't really getting over. They were saying it when they was a tag team in the Bloodline. They were saying yeet all the time, and Jimmy was saying it more than Jay, to be honest. And then next thing you know, Jay kind of took it over to Raw and kept saying it, but all of a sudden it became this big phenomenon thing of yeet. Then the music is catchy as hell. His entrance is dope as hell. It just all fell in such a perfect order to where it had no choice. Like the fans, when the fans speak, WWE, like I said, I give them that. They listen. So when they saw Jay really start getting over it, it was like, all right, we can't keep this guy at a mid card. Like the fans going to keep revolting. So it's like we gotta push him far, and we'll talk about that more in a minute.
Speaking of fans speaking, we talk about fans speaking after the Royal Rumble matches that took place last Saturday.
Great segue.
Thank you. It's like, talk about him as well. I'm about to go on his quest to fight luchadors.
No. To quote him exactly, his quest to learn the dark magic of lucha libre.
Yes.
Yo, that was crazy. That was great.
Listen, we don't like to pat ourselves on the back all the time, but I feel like we called this a while ago when this TNA partnership was announced. We said, don't be shocked if AAA somehow gets intertwined into this. And it looks to be like that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But, that's jumping ahead a couple segments here. But I know we're doing Jay right now. But do you guys feel like the start of the Jay movement, because if I'm not mistaken, right? Because this was so long ago, it's hard to remember now. Initially, Jay fell in line with Roman, right? And Jimmy was the one who was against it.
Yeah, right.
And then Jay's the one that had the singles match against Roman for the title, correct?
Correct.
And came so close. I think that match and that kind of build-up opened WWE's eyes to we may have something here. This dude looks good in the ring. He can carry his own. He's good on the mic. The fans take to him. I think we have to. And I think that match kind of opened their eyes to everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was funny. The other day, somebody had a post. It was like 10 years ago, and it was the segment with Jimmy, Naomi, and they were on a dinner date with Natalia, Tyson Kidd, and Tyson brought Claudio with him to the date. And it was just like, look how green everybody were during this segment, as far as the acting, the delivery, and then fast forward to everyone now, and I'm like, look at like everybody's showing out right now. Despite Claudio being an AEW, like, but
But even he's showing
still
out.
has evolved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Since then, like it's so cool. To see it. But
it shows you practice and repetition is important, man. Like
yes.
the more you perform your craft and like you get your test runs over and over and over, you get really good because this is what you're passionate about.
But even so, that I think it shows that you can't always pigeonhole someone into one role. Like for years, like this could have came out years ago, but for years WWE classified the Usos as a tag team. That's what they were. That's all they were. It took for them to finally say, "Let's see what we got here," to break him out of those restraints to truly see what they had. Same thing with Kofi.
Right.
No, what happened was, to be honest, it wasn't even that. What happened was it took Jimmy getting hurt.
2 day
That's
off
what
of
happened.
him to let everyone see what they have.
Yeah, Jimmy got hurt, and then during that ladder match during the pandemic, and then when he got hurt, it was that tag team ladder match. When he got hurt, it was like, all right, he's on the shelf. What are we going to do with Jay?
Yeah.
And that's when Jay went off to do his thing, and he said, "We're going to put him with Roman because their family, they want to work with together." Blah blah blah. Roman's kind of on it. Roman was in a different lane, also becoming the heel once again, but
Right.
as a solo act without the Shield, and it was getting over it. Like I said, the pandemic actually is crazy.
Yeah, hold on.
Like,
Before you proceed on that, let me get Joey back up here,
Okay.
and we also got Mr. Rich Michaels.
Yeah, I don't
joining
know
us
what
this
happened
evening.
there.
Yeah, that was weird. Well, we was talking about how the reason how Jay start getting pushed more and forward because Jimmy got hurt. Jimmy got hurt during the tag team ladder match, and then when Jay they wanted Jay just sitting around. Plus, that was during the pandemic where they were on a need for wrestlers to wrestle. So it was like we got to put and this one Roman was in a new lane as a heel once again, but as a solo act. So it's crazy to think like. Even though the pandemic was one of the worst things that happened in history, it was the launching pad for the bloodline because it got the start of getting Roman over, finally, like over, and people that look at Jay in a different light. If it wasn't for that pandemic, I don't know we would be having this conversation right now.
Oh, like, no question. As a matter of fact, would y'all agree? The pandemic era actually brought wrestling back.
It kind of did, and it's funny because it was the worst time.
Yeah,
like the wrestling was like I wouldn't even want to say it was crap. It was just
like there were really no true events that were going on other than pro wrestling.
Yeah, it was an awkward. Yeah, it was an awkward feel because there were no fans. But the wrestling.
Remember how that bloodline started? Remember how the bloodline started though? It was Braun versus Bray.
Yeah.
Bray. Mm-hmm.
And then Roman.
Hey, you're breaking up again, Joey.
Leave. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you breaking up a little bit. I ain't gonna say a little bit, a lot actually. We're gonna put you down in the hub for a second. Let you clear it up. But yeah, like no, it's kind of crazy. Like I do feel like the pandemic was like the launching pad for those who may not have been, heavily invested in the pro wrestling to really start watching. Like
look at Drew.
Yeah,
it was the launching pad of Drew.
Right,
to become a single main event star. Like it's crazy. I said it was the worst. I said it was crazy how it was the worst time in wrestling, but also turned out to be the best. Like it's like as far as like launching people to the next level that we knew they can be, but they weren't like the people in charge wasn't putting their finger on the button.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get Joey back up here. You good?
I don't know what's going on my Wi-Fi tonight. This is crazy.
It's a surprise. Say no.
Good. Yeah,
no.
Good.
Before we go way left, let's dive into this Jey Uso conversation because he was the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble.
I'm gonna move to a different part of my house, see if it helps me. I'm still here. I'm just shut off my camera, but I can still hear everything.
Got you.
Right.
Yeah. So, again, Uso winning the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match. This was I don't want to say this was. I'm not saying this was weird him winning. I love Jay winning. Everybody was celebrating Saturday night, like all good vibes. You know, going on Twitter, everybody was cool with the win. For some reason, I wake up Sunday and there was just a ton of Jey Uso slander, talking about, you know, he wasn't the one to win. WrestleMania is gonna be lame. Like, just like a whole lot of negativity out of nowhere. I didn't understand because Jay Uso, the one main event Uso, everybody doing the dance, singing a song, happy. It's just me, Uso, day one. I say day one shit, but I mean, I know it's day one ish, but like, you know, everybody good vibes whenever the song plays. But for some reason, there's just like this crop of the internet wrestling community that's just, you know, it's just like, I hate to say it, it's like just being the Karens of the internet. Like, and I don't get it. I really do not get it. And one day I would love to be able to just host a town hall just to like dissect the brains of the internet wrestling community, just so I can understand, you know, to see their perspective, And it just felt wrong to me. I'm like, this man bust his ass over the last, you know what I mean, few years. I mean, for decades now. And, you know what I mean, finally getting the opportunity to take, you know what I mean, to have his main event moment, and people were shitting on him. I didn't understand it. Chris, I'll throw it to you.
Well, as the number one Jey Uso fan, that
it's like, no.
I am the leader of the Jey Uso fan club, in case nobody knew. So this is the thing. This is a combination of diehard fans and casuals going head to head when it comes to Jey Uso. So even the diehard fans love Jey Uso, but they'll look at the overall picture as well too, not just in the moment, but what they've seen in the past and what they potentially see in the future.
Real quick, breaking news: Drew McIntyre won that triple threat match, so he's now qualified for the Elimination Chamber match.
No way, that was such a shock.
Oh wow, I thought he was gonna do something with Damian Priest, but cool, good, get him in there.
Yeah, but go ahead.
He deserves it. He needs to always be in the main event spotlight. He had the best year that he's ever had in wrestling, so he needs to be in the main event picture as many times as possible.
But you're saying about the diehards and the casuals.
Yeah, so like this. So the people who are in the now absolutely love Jey Uso. Like this, like they just love the whole presentation of him, all that stuff. It's all good. The diehards see, I told you, when you in that Royal Rumble, you saw those giant names that was in the Rumble, especially at the same time. You had Punk, Roman, like this. I'll even throw Seth Rollins in there. What's his name? Because he's one of the best. But you know, he's even to me, he's not superstar status. He's top tier, but he's not superstar status. Like his levels to that. What's his name? He's not a huge draw like these other guys are. Like this, you got Punk, Roman, Cena right there. And like people see them as God tier guys like this. So they think one of them is definitely winning because they're the God tier guys. Then Jay wins by default. All of a sudden, here comes the slander. It's like, no. These are God tier. How is you letting this guy win? We understand he's on fire, but he's not as good as them. And therefore, they react in the way that they do. What's name? But you look at the statistics of it, especially when it comes to like I'm gonna go with Joey's thing with the merchandise. Jey Uso was the third highest selling merchandise in the Royal Rumble. John Cena was 1, Cody was 2, Jay was 3. So I mean, he beat people like Roman, CM Punk, all that stuff. So clearly, this guy's super over. So it makes sense that he won the Royal Rumble. He's the fresher face. Mm-hmm. He's the guy who can take the company to, I ain't gonna say a different level, but maybe a different direction to where it's more interesting again. But the thing is, then now they're saying that's the character. Now the diehard people will say, yeah, but he's cool. We love his charisma. We love his energy. We love the whole presentation. But his matches ain't that great. Like he's like this. He's okay. He's serviceable, but he's not putting on no 5-star matches. And they think about, like I said, they think about the past. They think about his last WrestleMania when he had that match with his brother, and that match sucked. Let's be real.
Yeah, but that pisses me off, Chris, when they say that.
That's what I'm saying. That's people's mindsets.
Yeah.
They those diehard fans like put everything in a bubble.
Because that was the knock on Cody too initially, then people the counteractive to that is, well, look at who he's versing. I think a big part of that is the feuds you put him in. His match with Gunther was pretty good at Saturday Night Main Event because they put him in a ring with someone who can actually go. I don't think they're doing him any justice by who they put him in the ring with.
Exactly, and that's the thing. And that's the other thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. The caveat with that is, looks like he's going to challenge Gunther. Like, he's not going to go against Cody. Like I said, they're not putting face to face, at least not like on that level, because they might do Cena and Cody at WrestleMania. What's his name? But like, far as what right now, Jay and Cody just don't make sense. Jay and Gunther make sense. The issue is, like you said, they just had a match at Main Event, and Gunther beat him clean. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't no outside interference, was no asterisks, nothing. So it's like, how do we make this match sell at Mania? So that's what a lot of people are mad at that. Like, we just saw this, and Gunther clearly beat him as better. Why should we be interested in this match again? So a lot of people are like mad at that. So for that, they're immediately like, boo. They're not letting the build happen. They're not letting the story play out. None of that. I told you that those are the living and now people, which they shouldn't do.
Yeah.
When it comes to wrestling, you gotta let the story play out.
Let me ask you all, and I'm gonna throw it to you. I'm gonna let you respond first, Rich, and followed by Joey, then you, Chris. Was the Saturday night's main event match a waste? Like, should they have held off on that match and just let it, percolate? You know what I mean? With Uso winning the Rumble and then having that encounter with Gunther on like that first Monday night of Raw.
Rich.
Well, it made sense to an extent when you saw the Saturday Night Live main event. Now that he would be feuding with him, but I do think that they didn't have to have that match. They could have went and just have him win the Rumble. He's going to face Gunther. He's not going to go, face against Cody. Yeah, they might have overplayed their hand in that. I think they wanted a story there to set up for future, but I think it was just way too soon before the Royal Rumble to do it.
So I have two ideas on that. I mean, I do see what people are saying how it's close and stuff.
Yeah.
My first theory is, what if that match on Saturday Night Main Event led to Jay winning the Rumble? Like, what if that match proved to WWE that Jay can hold his own with Gunther and look good in the ring? And they're like, okay, this could legitimately be a WrestleMania main event. It's not a bad match. Jay's not getting blown out of the water. Let's go for it. That's my first take. Second take is, could we be seeing the Gable storyline here where he kept kind of trying to win and win and win? They never actually did it, but they finally followed through here. And Jay finishes that, what Gable couldn't type of thing, because it was against Gunther also. So that's what I could see them doing, is they use that as the I beat you once, and that's the reason that people care. Because right off the bat, if we're talking about wrestling and in-ring, Gunther versus Jay should be a no contest in the ring, right? Gunther should be able to beat the brakes off of Jay, and that's it. But Jay pushed Gunther to the limit at Saturday Night Main Event, so it puts that doubt in your head where I was this close, I'm not losing this time around. That's why I think they did it.
Let me ask you a quick question. I know you see it that way. How come the internet wrestling community doesn't see it that way?
Because they look for a reason to be mad at anything. They're the most fickle fans in the world. It drives me insane. Like how long have we heard people saying Jay's the top merchandise seller? The Royal Rumble's too predictable. Cena's gonna win. Last year was Cody. The year before that was Cody. It's too predictable. We need someone new. WWE swerves everyone. No one predicted Jey Uso and John Cena as the final two, and Jey Uso coming out on top. They give us a swerve, and the people want to bitch. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't want the same old, but when they give you something different, you complain. Like, what do you want? What do you want?
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Go ahead, Rich.
No, to touch on that, Joey, though, it's true. You're always going to have people that are haters. Everybody, you're not going to make everybody happy. But when I saw him on Monday Night Raw and how crazy the crowd was, it's the hottest he's ever going to be. Why not let him win the Rumble and move on? It's the best opportunity he's ever going to have, being how hot he is right now.
So real quick, because I was trying to buy one, and
But people are always going to hate on the internet.
Oh, for sure. But I was trying to buy one. They put out these main event Jey Uso WrestleMania hoodies.
Oh, really? I saw the shirt.
They had a hoodie that was the exact same thing. The hoodie's now gone. It
Damn.
sold that fast. The hoodies weren't even available until March. You were buying them now to have them in March, and they sold out.
That's
like
wild.
That's like I hate people are like, well, he's not as good as someone else, or he's not as good as a wrestler. In terms of who, wrestling isn't a traditional sport where you can look at wins and losses and say, okay, this guy is better than this guy because he has won more matches. The matches are predetermined. This is a business. We're looking at, like Chris said, merchandise sales, viewership, social media engagement when they post something, stuff like that. Jey
Appearances.
Uso's on top on all of those.
Yeah.
That means he is a good wrestler. He might not be able to do 30 flips in the ring like everyone else, but from the business aspect of wrestling, Jey Uso is a good wrestler.
Yeah, agreed. And where Gunther lacks and Jay makes up more for it. So like this, you need to create intrigue in a championship match, especially on your biggest event of the year.
Yeah.
Like this. So you just can't put Gunther in there with anybody.
Yep.
Like you could put him in there with Gable again. Is that going to sell? You could put him in with Braun Strowman. Is that going to sell? Only person right now I could think of that he could put him in with that would create intrigue in is Braun Breaker, because Braun Breaker is hot as hell too. It's the only other guy I could think of that would like people would be interested in Gunther facing. But once again, Braun Breaker is like a tweener, as in we don't know if he's face or heel. Like he just basically a badass. He's just a badass.
He doesn't need to be anything. I don't think he needs to be either.
Yeah, he's just a badass, and he just does what he does. What's name? So, but what
There is
championship?
one name though, Chris, that I could have saw winning, but unfortunately he was injured. Bronson Reed was getting a monster push.
Yeah, Bronson Reed.
Monster push.
Yeah. But
I wouldn't have mind seeing Gunther and like a Bronson Reed in that similar role of Braun Breaker, where he's not a heel, he's not a face, he's just there.
Now see, if he wasn't hurt, to me that would have been a better, but that would have been a great match for Saturday Night Main Event. They could have had that match at Main Event with Bronson Reed and Gunther, then had Jay win the Rumble. What's his name? Because like that's because you take all them narratives away of Gunther already beating him and blah blah blah. Jay still would have winning hot, still winning, like, you know, he's like, it just, the fan reaction this guy gets every time he comes out, the type of, like I said, the merchandise he sells, and like this, and he's, like I said, he's been doing this for well over a year now, it's been already, and it has not dimmed down at all. So I give him all the credit. Like, where you got people like LA Knight Star has dimmed. I don't care, like it clearly has. Freaking Damian Priest. His is dimmed. He was just a world champion, and when the Judgment Day broke up for like that 2 months, he was hot as hell. He was getting crazy pops and all that stuff with Rhea and all that. Now look at him.
It's like the episode of Martin. You back at scratch.
Yeah, it's like this. It's like now look at him. It's just like, all right.
But do you think that's because of what these guys are doing, or do you think that's because, again, the booking choices that are being put forth for them?
Honestly, I think it's a mixture of who's hot and who's not.
Yeah, about to say it's
like
a combination.
Realistically, LA Knight should have not have lost that title to Nakamura. I mean, has he even defended it since he won?
Can I be honest?
I don't know.
I think LA Knight's boring.
Like LA Knight.
Thank you.
Now
like,
he is.
Like this right now. LA Knight, let's say the gimmick. The gimmick is running stale. it's the same exact thing. Like the Rock, with all his repetitive, as Triple H like to call them, nursery rhymes. He used to mix it up to where it was always entertaining. It was, and not only that, it's funny. LA Knight's not even trying to be like comical or like some type of charm. He's trying to be like this charismatic badass, but it's not working. It's like
Was
this.
LA Knight a good outlier for WWE though? What I mean by that is last year, right? LA Knight was super hot. They didn't strike while the iron was hot then, right?
Right.
They have Jey Uso this year, super hot. They're now deciding to strike while the iron is hot.
Now they're getting it. They understood. They dropped the ball on that one. LA Knight should have won the Money in the Bank. He should have.
Yeah.
They thought because he was so hot, he didn't need it, and they wanted Priest to get over. They really wanted Priest to get over, but Priest, as a big guy who can wrestle and has swag and all that, he's not that charismatic to where people are just enamored by him.
Could you imagine at WrestleMania if instead of Damian Priest cashing on McIntyre, it was LA Knight?
Yo, they would we were there. That place,
it definitely would have went off for sure.
Yeah.
It would have lost a.
What was LA Knight's Mania match? Oh, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. Huh.
Like it wasn't, and I think we talked about that, right? That wasn't for the title at the time, right? It was just like
it was a regular match,
just a street fight, right?
I think so. I think it was a match.
You know firsthand what it took for that match to even sell. That match had to sell itself that weekend based off of that little incident that they had at the media scrum.
So wait, real quick, not to jump topics here, but recently, for some reason, some of that fight's been popping up on my feed, like from other people's point of views.
Yeah.
And every point of view I see at the end of the fight, there I am standing next to both guys going, I hear myself every time saying, holy shit, was that just real? Every time I hear myself say, holy shit, was that real? I was like, yo, bro, was that shit real? In every video I hear myself say, I'm like, what a fucking dork. This is why I have not been approved again. They're trying to shoot an angle and I'm asking people, is it real? Like what? Let's cross this guy off the fucking list. He's never allowed back.
Yes, Joseph. These paid actors,
yeah,
are having a real fight. Yes, Joe.
These paid actors just fist fought each other, and we allowed it to go on for 5 minutes.
Yeah, nobody tried to break it up.
Real quick before we jump off of Jay, I do think both him and Gunther are made for each other. Like, Gunther's may not be the strongest on the microphone. Jay can make up for that. Jay, like you said, Jay might not be the best wrestler in the square circle, but Gunther can help sell that. You know what I mean? But between the two,
they make up for each other's difference, lacking thereof perfectly.
Not to mention, you know what I mean, making up for each other would actually benefit each other to get better. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows? We could possibly see Gunther, Jey Uso headline WrestleMania again within the next 5 to 10 years. Like that's something that could potentially happen. They're
not old about it.
Well, yeah,
but projecting ahead, right? Let's just
that old.
Before we,
we start looking at the ages now.
So. This is that they getting up there. That's all I'm saying.
They are getting up there. But looking ahead, right? Just before we jump off of this topic, Jey Uso wins, right? What do we see for a title run from Jey?
As I said, that's what I said. The other diehards, they look at everything. So it's like, all right, once if he wins.
When?
That's it. When he wins, what's after that? Like, what's the championship run going to look like?
See, that's where the complexity of WWE comes into hand. Because it's like, all right, do we once Mania ends, are we back at the draft? Like, is that still going to be such a thing?
Too many. The complexity that we're now is there's too many tweeners.
Yes.
Look at all the main event guys, right?
This transfer portal they just had, or the transfer window. Like,
I mean, not even what show they're on. When I say tweeners, I mean heel versus face. Look at the top of the roster, right? Drew, right? like depending upon who he's against, he could be a heel, he could be a face.
Right.
Punk, again, been talking a lot of shit leading up to the Rumble. It's like, I'm not really sure where he lies. Seth, not really sure where he lies. You know, Kevin Owens is a clear heel, but Sammy coming out of what happened at the end of that pay-per-view. I mean, not pay-per-view, Raw. Where does he lie? You know,
I got a
there's
theory
not
on him,
true
too.
definitive heels.
Yeah.
You know, like who realistically, Jey Uso wins, right? Outside of KO,
Great.
is there
That's the
any
problem.
heels you can point to and say, okay, they should be next up for a title shot?
Right.
Yeah, and that's the issue. You got the heels who people love, so they get cheered. Like Jacob Fatu is a heel, but we love him. Like people were cheering. They were screaming out Fatu at
Yeah.
the Royal Rumble.
Say
Like
no.
it's like you got like
But even the problem with Fatu is they built him up so much so fast that when he destroyed Braun, right? So now that logically, anyone he fights going forward, you're going to expect him to win soundly. I think it's too much too fast with him. Almost like a Ryback type situation where it's like, if he loses, it's like, okay, well, he's done. That's how I feel they built him so far.
For some
Yeah.
reason, I think there's going to be a run in between both Solo and Jacob at some point.
it has to be.
To turn Jacob face or to turn Solo face?
So turn
Jacob.
Solo face.
Really?
To turn
Yeah.
solo face.
Yeah.
See, I think Jacob works so good as a face.
Really?
I think one day, and I don't know how they're gonna. Like I said, it's all about the story, right? How they write the story. So I
Finish
think
the story. Say
the
no.
the moment is going to happen where it's Jacob and Solo in the ring, and then Jacob yells out like instead of "I love you, Solo," he's going to say, "You know what? I hate you, Solo."
Yeah.
And then that's when it happens. Everything, but
It's not even in the Royal Rumble, bro.
it's all about. I know, right? Isn't that crazy? Talk about fall from grace. Isn't that crazy?
They
Mhm.
Like,
ruined
so-
him. They
like,
ruined him.
they
He needs to
ruined
get
him.
one clean win against Roman.
You know, that's what I'm saying. I said the Survivor Series, they should have won. They
Not even
they
Survivor
should've won.
Series. Like
No,
they could have fought. They
should've
could have
won that.
fought 2 more months if he just won one.
I know, but that Survivor Series, the New Blood versus the original.
Yeah.
Wait, you
should've
said they
won that.
ruined Solo?
They ruined Solo by not letting him win at least one match against Roman. They fought what? They fought Survivor Series and they fought 2 more times after that, right?
I think at Saudi. Did they fight Saudi?
I think so.
And they fought on the premiere of Netflix.
I don't
Saturday
think.
night.
I don't.
And then
Yeah,
Raw.
Netflix
So that
show
was it.
Survivor Series, and I think it's Saudi in a tag team
Just
match.
one. Just give him one.
I wouldn't say they ruined him. I think he was humbled, in the words of the late Iron Sheik.
I don't know. But I know we all said this, and I'm saying it every time. I'm like the platforms, the wrestling platforms I follow on social media. Every time they show Jacob, this was what I said. And this is when Jacob wasn't saying a word; he was just coming and destroying stuff. I said this under the comments on one thing. I said the second they let that man talk, Solo is done. I was like this because at that part, I said they're doing it right. Just have him come in and destroy stuff. Do not let him talk. Because once he talks and they can see he runs circles around Solo, that's it.
That's another thing these fickle wrestling fans complain about. Him talking. They're like, oh, it ruined the character. It ruined the character.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
But see,
That's
but
how
see,
but that's because we know Jacob on a different level.
exactly. And
So
that's
we
what I was
know
gonna
that he
say.
can speak and he's a cool dude and he's got this whole personality in there. But I think for the internet wrestling fans who don't typically know him,
That's the disconnect.
As a disconnect. Yeah.
they see him as this quiet person who just wrecks shit. So when he talked, that aura was gone.
Yeah.
Whereas that aura was never actually there for us because we know who Jacob is with the mic in his hand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Goes to show when one watches WWE 100% of the time and are not familiar with other companies that
My man
then
Jacobs.
we're going to you're going to get comments like that.
But do you think he should have been the caveat to that? Because like even people who watch WWE 100%, if you're a wrestling fan, didn't know who the fuck Jacob Fatu was, you have to be living under a rock.
Yeah.
Like
Like
the
how
shit
you
that
not?
he's done in the ring
Yeah.
has gone viral
Right.
everywhere.
You see
Right.
this. You see this huge guy, which all them Samoans are. They are huge, athletic individuals. Like going back to like from Fatu himself, Rikishi. It's like this. You got Yokozuna, a 500-some-pound man doing super kicks. It's
They say he was a baller. He was an
Yeah.
incredible basketball player. They said. I just now
That's what I'm
heard that.
saying. That's what I'm saying. This is crazy. So the Samoan dynasty, like just all Samoans, period. They are like I call them super athletic people. Like they just are. They're just big individuals, whether they bulkier, muscular. They just have this speed, athleticism. Like it's crazy. It's just in their genes. They could be 350, 60 pounds, but legit move like cruiserweights. It's just crazy.
Speaking of the Samoans, that kid that Jay brought in the ring when he won, that was his son, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna be in the WWE someday. There's
They
another
all
one up.
are. They all are.
Oh,
They
yeah.
all got like 8 kids, bro.
Well, now that we're on kids, real quick before we jump
Yeah.
to Charlotte, did you see the report coming out that The Rock's daughter is gonna be acquiring the Final Boss persona a little more?
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
They want to kind of transition her to that, to be like this badass Final Boss type persona, to kind of really bring her into the family more.
I can see that. Starting out in NXT being a I don't want to say a douche, but that's probably what would likely happen.
Hope
And
it
then-
works. I know she blinks a lot when she talks.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about how she talks drives me insane.
Yeah, it's just something about it. Just like she definitely doesn't have the charisma.
drives me insane.
Yeah, she doesn't have
Seems
the
nice to
charisma
me.
of her father just yet.
What?
I said she seems nice to me.
No, when she speaks, I don't
know
know what,
Sweet.
something about it. I can't put my finger on it. It's just
But like I said, the more she does it, though, like I said, she'll get better at it. She's still super young. Like she's in the right place for it. Stay in the NXT as long as possible.
you talk about bloodline. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she'll get there eventually.
Speaking of speaking,
In generations.
right. Speaking of speaking, the women's Royal Rumble match winner, Charlotte Flair, graced her appearance on Monday Night Raw. And it wasn't good. I'm gonna just say that. just
what
flat
did they
out.
expect, bro?
To say, did they think anything different was going to
Like
happen?
for years, you've built her up to be this incredible heel. Everyone despises, and the first time she grabs a mic again, people are supposed to just cheer her. Like I'm confused.
Listen, I got a whole lot of errors about this segment. One, I probably would have preferred maybe just conducting it somehow backstage versus out in the ring.
Yeah.
Now I get it. You know, she hasn't really been in front of, you know, a live crowd in quite a while. You know, Royal Rumble being like her first, but she was actually wrestling. But in this particular case, you know, you let her go out there, and prior to the show Monday, you got news dropping on TMZ about her and Andrade's divorce.
Mhm.
Like, somebody got to have common sense to say, you know what, maybe this might not be the right time to flaunt her out there, to talk about the win, and just, you know, maybe just think about, you know, doing something different other than her going out there in the ring. I don't know about
Bro, the
y'all.
show was a horrible choice. Like,
Yes.
like you know, the Raw champion is Rhea, who is absolutely loved. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, maybe that whole segment would have been better off on SmackDown, where it's Tiffy and she's a heel. But to come out there and make that promo on Raw with Rhea as the champion, and I get she was saying that she was laying it out for everyone, but it's still Rhea's brand. And so to me, that already put her at a disadvantage.
Yeah, definitely. But she looked, to me, I don't know about y'all. I don't know if y'all felt the same, but like she looked uncomfortable. Maybe there could have been nerves because this is the first time in a long time that she was actually speaking in front of the WWE universe. But
I think she was upset, bro. I think she was upset.
I believe it, and it probably stemmed from
You
the
had to-
divorce news being rolled out. Go ahead, Rich. What was you saying?
Oh no, I was going to say you could tell she was just she didn't know what to say, what to do. The reaction that she got, she had to try to play along with the crowd and say, "Well, I don't care
Yeah.
if you boo me, I still love you," and everything. It just wasn't working. It just wasn't working, and I think she knew it wasn't working. That's why he looked very uncomfortable.
It reminded me of Batista when Batista came back, and he came back as a face, but the crowd was like, "No."
Yeah.
like
They had to give it to Daniel Bryan.
yeah, like there's like Daniel Bryan's our guy. We don't want you anymore. Rhea Ripley's their girl. People love Rhea. Rhea's their girl. Nobody's trying to cheer Charlotte Flair if Rhea's the top person in the ring. She's the top dog. She's the head, be in charge. Like nobody trying to hear Charlotte Flair. Like granted, the match I had the WrestleMania, that was a banger. Like that was really, really good. But like, come on, man. Like there's like nobody wants to see this with Charlotte. Yeah, and also too, people feel this is another thing in WWE force feeding Charlotte down our throats. It's like even though this Royal Rumble win actually makes sense. She's been gone for so long. This is a big return. It made sense for her to win the Royal Rumble, to be honest. Like, it's not the worst decision. Like, when she won back in 2019, that was a bad decision. She should have won that one. But this one, like, it actually makes sense on paper. So, like, I wasn't even mad that she won because we picked her to win. So, we kind of knew. But it was like, but that's what I said. Now they're in a predicament where they got the super over babyface champion and the super over heel champion and Tiffany Stratton. So it's like, where does Charlotte play in this situation? Like I told you, this is going to be an issue because if she challenges Tiffany, like, do they make Tiffany? They can make Tiffany a face. It's like he's like, yeah, they're just gonna make her a face, but she's a better heel.
Yeah.
It's like, so what do we do?
But have we ever saw Tiffany as a face?
No, she's been a heel ever since she's been in WWE.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know if she'd be able to sell as a face. I think if she went face, she'd be one of the top merchandise movers in the business.
Merchandise, yeah, but like her persona has to fit the character. So her persona is this prissy, Barbie, like this borderline Karen character. So it's like you can't run it as a face. Like, but like this, and honestly, they already got that with Chelsea. So it's like we going to do that with Tiffany too. So, like I said, they're kind of in a weird situation with Charlotte. So it's like, what do you do? Charlotte is a way. We all know she's an amazing heel. We want her as a heel. We don't want her as nothing else.
Yeah, I think that whole speech on Monday was so awkward because of the crowd reaction. Like her injury was legit. Her injury could have stopped people from coming back, between the ruptures and everything else. Like, there was a lot that she dealt with to get back to that point. And I just feel like her and the WWE collectively felt like the fans were going to give her a swan song, so to say, and like welcome her back with open arms. So to see that reaction was such a shock to the system that it threw her off her game completely.
It rattled her. Not to cut you out, Joe. It definitely rattled her. That was like one of the first times I ever seen her like flustered. Like
I wish they would have sent someone out sooner.
Yeah. She really couldn't believe that they were like booing her like that. She probably really thought they were going to like embrace it because that's the general consensus. Even if somebody leaves as a heel, people are genuinely happy to see them back.
Yeah,
to where they're cheered. And
you're always cheering on that first promo back just to welcome them back, and then after that, it's fair game.
Right? Yeah. It was cringy. Like that whole spot was cringy, man. Like
she had gold.
Well, there's been a lot of times with Charlotte where she does come off cringy.
Yeah, she does. She has go away heat. She doesn't have heel heat. But she has that go away heat.
But this goes on that Cleveland crowd. That Cleveland crowd was on her like soon. Like she didn't really even say a word yet, and they were on her. Like,
but they did everything. Like WWE's standpoint, they did everything right. You think about who was the final two, everything. Like let's be honest, Roxanne wasn't winning the Rumble, right?
She's
Nope.
actually on now.
So
Charlotte.
having her defeat Roxanne as the final two was perfect because there was no outcry to have, right? Like
Mhm.
with the men's Rumble, okay, you have a legitimate beef that Cena should have won the Rumble. That's fine. But it was perfect for Charlotte to kind of swoop in there because, let's face it, Roxanne's not ready yet. Had it been like a Bianca or someone like that, I could see the fans being pissed off. But WWE did it perfectly with how they had it play out. I personally am okay with having Charlotte as a face take on Tiffy as a heel.
No, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
100% agree with that. So we'll find out. We'll see what the reaction was tonight. She's actually in the ring now. I didn't, couldn't hear what the crowd reaction was. Of course, got the headphones on. Duh. but but yeah, so more to come on that.
So I think we're all in agreement, right? Like, 'cause I know we were supposed to discuss that.
Yeah.
Charlotte is Tiffy. Jay is Gunther.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah,
like
I can see that.
Yes.
The only thing I would have loved is like we started to see it a little bit with how much KO was pushing Cody. Does anyone watch the show The Boys?
No.
Nah.
There's a guy on that show called Homelander who was like a form of almost Captain America. But then eventually he slowly becomes bad to the point now where he's almost a villain. And that's what everyone's saying they're seeing in Cody. A slow Homelander Cody heel turn. Which I wouldn't be mad if we had turned Cody heel and put him against Jay. The two top merchandise sellers, that would do numbers.
Yeah.
I would, man. I told you. I said, when that Cody verse comes, get ready. That's a build time. Because a lot of people, it's funny because a lot of people who are like such big wrestling fans of Marks like we are, a lot of the casuals don't know Cody as a heel. They just know what they've seen from his past runs to AEW to current, especially current Cody now. Current Cody trumps everything. So that's all they know. That's all they know.
I'm gonna throw out a wild prediction here. I think this WrestleMania we see either a heel Cody or a heel Cena.
It's definitely gonna be a heel Cody.
You mean like before the show or it happens like
it happens at the show? Like that reaction of Cena at the Rumble, like initially like pissed off, and then he finally like remembers who he is and like goes and hugs Jay and stuff. I think that was almost foreshadowing. I think he comes up short again. I think he's the last two in the chamber. He comes up short again. And I think this drive to get that title shot one last time, I think that drives him insane. And we see him use undermining tactics to finally get that. And he gives the fans what they wanted that one time for a couple months of the heel Cena.
I don't know. Because if that's the case, if he were to go heel at Mania, somehow they got to spin it to where he's a babyface again by Money in the Bank. If you know what I mean, since he's likely going to participate in all the PLEs.
Yeah.
And then he also, and I don't know if anybody saw this,
Ruthless Aggression.
Yes, you know what I mean, happening at the end of the year in Boston. It's supposed to be like his like swan song, his final event, you know what I mean, at the end of the year. So they gotta make do.
But I think that made my prediction here even more to me feel like it could happen is because I feel like that could be almost a standalone show where you get actual Cena one last time. He has this whole run where he's heel Cena. Ruthless Aggression is kind of its own show,
right?
Where this is it for Cena, and you get Cena one last time as John Cena. That's what I kind of thought was going to happen.
That'd be cool
like,
to see.
Regardless of what's going on in the story mode, you're going to have a huge Cena match at Ruthless Aggression that's not part of a storyline.
I would love to see the Dr. Thugonomics one more time. They just come out there, can't say what you really want to say. Well, he can say it on Netflix, but now they're on Netflix. He can say it now, but he's still gonna be limited to what he can say. So I would like to see one more, heel promo rap. It was named, which will be very dated, but still entertaining.
Right.
You know what I'd love to see at Ruthless Aggression? Like they butchered the Kurt Angle retirement match, right? Like Baron
Yeah.
Corbin was horrible choice. I know this is gonna happen, but if we compiled all of his best rivalries throughout the years, and to start the Ruthless Aggression pay-per-view, it was a battle royal to see who fought Cena in the main event. That to me would be some of the coolest shit you could ever see possible. Like you have JBL come back, you have Randy in the match. You know, obviously Edge is impossible, but Edge would be in the match. It's like Batista, like all these guys who were his biggest rivals throughout his career, fighting to see who gets to have John Cena's retirement match. That'd be some cool shit.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be pretty cool. Let's get a couple of quick takeaways. I know Chris, you about to dip out in a couple of minutes, so I definitely want to get your take on this before you go. It was
We're about to go work a work shift. You gotta stop yawning.
It was mentioned that AJ Styles is now the newest member of the Raw brand, and during this particular segment, we had one Braun Breaker. Look how proud Adam Pearce was. It didn't make the announcement. But the Intercontinental Champion came into play, and like he's looking for his next plate, and he's also mentioning about AJ not getting in his way. But I'm assuming we're probably going to see a future feud between the two. Your thoughts on your boy returning and a possible Intercontinental Championship run with him returning?
I'm happy anytime AJ Styles is on TV. That's my guy. He's one of the GOATs. He's a trendsetter. He's the reason why a lot of these guys wrestle the way they wrestle. I'm going to be happy forever to see him on TV. He's getting down. He's counting down. You can tell he's in the the later stages of his career. He's counting down. He wants to give one more good hurrah for himself and the fans to show that he's still one of the best. Like I say, Braun Breaker is a great rivalry for him to start. But once again, this is just going to be another one where they're just going to feed my guy to some young talent, and he's going to get his ass handed to him in the end. But it's going to be a great match or matches. It's probably going to be more than one. Let's be real. It's going to be great matches. Don't get me wrong. If AJ wins, that's going to be amazing. If he does win, it's because they probably got bigger things for Braun down the road. It's probably something with Jay or somebody else. But the match itself is going to be great because AJ's great. He can always give a 5-star match anytime he feels. Braun is just on fire. That dude is a freaking fucking train, just ready to mow people over. That spear he did on I Am Speed with the show speed. My God, yo.
Is he still on the ground?
I'm about to say, my God. Y'all see that video when they showed it from all those different angles?
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro. I don't know how that man's walking.
Yeah.
Like, geez.
I don't know how that got approved.
Yeah, right. Yo, Braun is something, man. He's fast.
But it shows they trust Braun, right? Like, to allow Braun to do that to a guest.
Yeah. Braun was like, this shit gonna go viral right here.
Right. What up, B? He said, "What up, fellas?" R.I.P.
Yo, and Braun didn't just do the regular spirit. He did that super, wind up before. Like, jeez,
that was the Rhino Gore times 1,000.
Real talk.
Bro, I agree with Chris though. I actually think AJ could beat Braun because I think Braun's kind of outlasted the IC title at this point, even the short time he's had it. I mean, you got Braun and Roman both gearing up for a spear in the Rumble, and Braun hits it. Like, come on. That, to me, says all you need to know about the direction he's headed.
Yeah, it's a slow change of the guards. It's not right away, but it's the little nugget to let you know who's going to be coming up next soon.
Also, I didn't get to mention this before, but how about the shade that Jesse Ventura threw on the entire Steiner family at that last Saturday night main event? That was some wild shit.
I missed that. What did he say?
you gotta go listen to the quote. It was enough to where Scott Steiner said, "Wait till I see you in person. I'm smacking this shit out of you."
Really? Oh wow, I'm about to look that up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Switch it up just a little bit. Jump into this particular moment. As we know, there was the chamber. Excuse me. Sorry, the chamber qualifying match between Liv and Io, and unfortunately, Rhea got involved as far as like trying to go at Liv. Disqualification came into play, which gave Liv the win. And Io was pretty pissed off at Rhea at the end of this match. Rich, I'm gonna toss it to you. Do we see a possible Io Sky heel turn coming up in the future?
I can definitely see that. I think it's going to be something that plays for a while. It's not going to be right away, but I can see long term her eventually turning. Maybe she'll have a couple more run-ins with Rhea. Things don't go away, and then she'll eventually do the heel turn. I think that's what they're gearing towards after seeing that segment on Raw.
I'm so confused when the face turn happened.
It happened.
It was like 1 week she was just face.
Who, Io Sky?
Yeah.
It happened around the Survivor Series when she just kind of got thrown in.
Yeah.
To the women's war
It was
games.
so confusing to me. Like, we're talking about her going back heel, and she was.
Yeah.
Actually, more so when Dakota Kai came back from injury. Like, it's like they went on like this like babyface run.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so this is one could be a face versus. I don't think she's gonna turn heel though. I think it's gonna be like a face versus face. WWE don't mind doing face versus face when it comes to women, but with men they don't like doing it.
See, I definitely see a heel turn coming. What I think happens is I think Rhea makes it right because she cost Io the chamber match. I think she goes to management, makes it right, and gets Io one more chance to qualify. Qualifies, wins, and then like at the end of the match, Rhea and Io hug it out. Like, it looks like you're qualifying and you won and stuff. And then Io beats the shit out of her and boom, sets up the Mania match.
That may be cool, but I just got this weird thing. It's gonna be face versus face because right now Io's getting that love again because people really like. Io Sky is one of my favorite women wrestlers. Period. Right now. Like,
no, I agree.
Like,
I think she's so much cooler as a heel. Io, I think, just works better as a heel.
She's cooler as a heel. I do like her better as a heel. It definitely does work for her better. What's the name? But people just love her, like her style, just like the aura, the charisma. So they just like to cheer her. So that's
Io wax. Like, no, I'm y'all know y'all gushing over Io over there, so I had to be.
No, I think she's good, but I also think like we saw this before. I wouldn't have been mad if they went a different direction.
Yeah, it was the NBA. So I think I'm gonna give Io another shot because like that her first championship run wasn't the best. Like it was like so it's almost like she played second fiddle to Bailey and all that stuff.
She's not winning at Mania.
Now, I mean, I ain't saying she is, but don't be surprised if she does. Rhea's had the title because by that time it'll be almost a year that Rhea's held the title.
She just got it back.
Even though she just got it back, like nobody cares about the Liv Morgan championship run. Sorry, what's the name? So like.
Trust and believe that little championship run is returning.
But
she's done, bro.
No, she better say when.
She's closer to a mid card title than she is.
Say either she's mid card or tag team.
I ain't say women's title. It's likely the tag title.
As I said, tag
I would have rather Raquel challenge Rhea at Mania.
Nah, that wouldn't sell. I hate to say it, but
no?
it probably wouldn't. Raquel and Rhea.
Nah, that's not gonna sell. People are not big on Raquel just yet. They're
well, she needs to stop being Diesel 2.0.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they gotta change up. They gotta change up something with her character. I mean, like
she looked a little cringy at the Royal Rumble, right? With those glasses and stuff.
Yeah, they gotta change her character ASAP. Like before, the character was the thing of, "Hey, everybody, look, I got a strong back," and then now is
Bro, you've always shit on her since we've done this show.
Yeah,
You've always shit on that back thing.
because I don't get it. It's like every week you come out, everybody like when she comes out, what she does. Hey, everybody, look at my back.
I don't think
I mean, that's her thing.
She hasn't done it since a Hill, has she?
Every
I don't
week,
recall her doing
the
it.
beautiful people would say, "Hey, look at my ass," and we would look.
But all right, what are we more impressed by?
Here we go.
Well, obviously, we're more impressed by ass, but someone might be a fat guy. You don't know.
I just say no. We're not. I don't want to see her back every week. Like I get it.
You're an ass man, but someone might be a back guy. Who knows?
I appreciate a strong back. Look, Bianca Belair has amazing back. Jade Cargill, amazing back. They don't show it every week.
Real quick, Chris, before you go.
He just admitted that Raquel don't have a great back.
Before you go, right? Did you see that spot in the corner with it was Naomi was in the corner and Bianca was like almost like straddle on her, and then Jordan Grace like kicked her in the back of the head like 6 times, and like her head was going like this, right into Naomi's tits.
Yeah.
And Bianca was trying so hard to sell it without cracking up, but she had to like cover her face and start laughing.
Yeah.
Because Jordan knew what she was doing.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing. It's like that's wrestlers having a little fun in the ring, and I'm glad they do that. Like, that job is like that job. That's a stressful ass job.
Yeah,
like so you gotta have some fun.
But what's she gonna do now? What is she gonna do? Because she's an official superstar now. That wasn't a TNA run-in. She's a WWE superstar now.
Yeah, they said
I saw a report she's going to NXT.
I saw they starting her NXT.
That's fucking stupid.
They said, but they said they might not keep her there long, which makes me even more like
she shouldn't be there at all.
She shouldn't be there at all. Just start on the main roster. That's so stupid.
She has everything you need.
Yeah, everything. She's already.
Her and Bianca is a huge match at WrestleMania.
Absolutely, that's the match you could like because the Jade stuff's gonna be the Jade stuff. That's always gonna be there. But her and Bianca, that's a match. The two powerhouses, both the charisma and all that.
Both can actually move in the ring.
Yeah, that sells. There you go. But boys, I appreciate y'all. I gotta get up out of here.
Indeed.
Go Birds.
All right, Chris,
go Birds.
Baby.
Wait, before you leave, say tell Rich thank you.
Oh yeah, Rich, thank you so much for Saquon. And one time for the one time. This is for Joey.
Yeet.
Crazy.
All right, y'all.
All right, bro.
You're welcome.
You later, man.
It's like the best Jimmy Butler. Tobias Harris over me. Saquon's yelling, Daniel Jones over me.
Like, you must be out of your goddamn mind.
Wait, did you know Jones is going to be in Barkley's box at the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah.
Now, you know,
because they real tight.
Really?
Yeah,
two of them. Yeah,
Barkley and Shepard.
Yeah,
he was at the NFC Championship game.
Yeah,
Shoot.
he would be. I mean, if we get Pickett's bum ass small hands off this team, Daniel Jones would be a good backup for the Eagles. Sorry to jump off topics here, but he could run this offense and not miss a beat with the RPOs and stuff.
Pass.
Watch, we would revive that man's career.
You know, I'm like,
I don't want it. No, I don't want it.
No,
you want small hands, Kenny?
I'd rather just go to Tanner, if anyone.
Yeah, but here's the problem with Tanner. You have to change the whole playbook. He can't do those RPOs. You saw that in that last game against the Giants.
I mean, it's going to happen
when he broke the pocket. It was a drop off in his passing.
Right. But no, let's not go way left on this. I do want to bring this up too, because I thought this was an interesting segment.
I feel
this past Monday. But go ahead, Rich. What you about to say?
I was gonna say I feel so bad for you. The Giants are not going to have a good team for like 5-6 years. So I don't want to hear anything you got to say or complain.
Hey, look. Hey, it's not our fault.
Dude, my leg is bad though. What is up with this leg? Hold on, my leg is bad.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure. If you want to hop out real quick and come back, just let me know.
Hop out.
All right.
Let me try to switch it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to switch areas.
Gotcha.
Are you on your phone or a laptop?
Laptop.
Okay, I was just saying because my phone was lagging, but then I turned on Do Not Disturb, and that fixed it because like all the text and stuff is what was causing my lag. So that's what I did. But with a laptop, I don't know why I would do that.
Probably got to clear those cookies with cache.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what.
Gotta stop watching porn.
I
Yeah,
think so, man.
Stop it.
Word, I got some viruses on here.
Oh gosh. Well, go ahead.
He been down that shit from LimeWire. Wrong movie.
Yeah, right. bring it back to Y2K virus.
All right, let me log out. We'll come back in.
All right. Well, while we wait for
bro, how many
Rich
times that
to
happened? I
come
remember
back.
the one time while we're waiting for Rich to jump back on, when LimeWire was a thing, you could like download like the bootleg movies and stuff.
Oh
You know how many
yeah.
times I would download a bootleg movie, get it on my like the USB thing, and then plug it into my DVD player, start playing. Like for my whole family, it'd be a fucking porn.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Wrong movie, guys.
Like those ain't no turtles.
I'm like,
That's ass.
I'm gonna delete it.
Crazy. Shoot. That was good times. Although you used to strike out when you do download like a track, like a music, and have that classic Bill Clinton, my fellow Americans.
Oh my god, bro! There was one song, the Jay Sean song, or the Sean. It was like, baby, are you down?
Oh yeah,
and it had
Sean.
that Young
Yeah.
Kings Daily. You know how long I thought that was actually part of the fucking song?
No, that's like back in the day with the mixtape era was huge.
Yeah,
And like all the DJs used to have a drop like DJ Glue. Yeah. Like,
bro, I heard this song the other day on the radio. I'm like, and me and my wife both said it, and we were like, that ain't in the fucking song.
no. They start to smarten up a little bit, like when EPs used to get downloaded. They used to be like, hey yo man, you got this, stop bootlegging. It's like just talking over the music, like, oh come on man, like, let me just hear the track.
Now you don't gotta worry about that shit. But my high school used to block our laptop if we came into school with that open.
Oh wow.
You know how many times I went into school with like LimeWire open on my computer or a torrent?
That's crazy.
When Pirate Bay was real big,
Right.
and I pinged the internet when I opened my laptop, and they like blacklisted me for a month.
Oh snap! Oh man, now you got me thinking about like all like the downloaded sites like Share. It was like ShareBear or MediaFire, like all them.
The
jokes.
Pirate Bay.
Yeah, that's classic, man. All right, before we go way left and while we're waiting for Rich to get back on, as you can see on the bar at the bottom, Finn and Dom. We had a little situation between the two when Finn came back to the locker room, meeting up with the other members of the Judgment Day. And he was, coming at Dom, talking about how he not only stole his tag team title rematch, but he also blamed Dom for JD getting injured during the match and getting him hurt. You think it's possible we get a Finn Balor versus Dirty Dom in the future?
I think it does happen. I think it's a Mania match, and here's my thinking, because I'm thinking ahead, looking at the bigger picture here. Rey Mysterio doesn't have many years left in this business, right?
Right.
I think Judgment Day, I think Liv, I think Raquel, I think all of these guys turn on Dom, leaving him alone.
Yeah.
Ray welcomes him back in open arms, and they finish out the last a year that he has left, maybe pursuing a tag title run where they kind of bury the hatchet and go that route.
Interesting. You know what? I like your theory there, because I can see that. I could definitely see that. And looking back on Monday at how Liv was like
even here in this picture,
Dom got you. Yeah.
Look at her looking at him.
Yeah. Like, don't believe the hype. Because
it almost looks like she's smitten with him.
Yeah. But keep in mind, Liv told Finn that it was Dom who got him the chamber qualifying match. And he claimed, Dom took claim that he did do it, but I don't really think he did it. I think it was Liv. Liv probably did do it.
Yeah, I mean, just think about like a couple months ago. Like WWE doesn't do stuff for no reason, right? We still never solved the question of the room key when he took it,
Right.
right? And I just feel like they've dropped too many foreshadowings over the past couple of months for them to where, to me, it just screams like almost like the Jericho and Christian situation from all those years ago when
Yeah.
Trish Stratus turned and stuff. I just feel like that's what we're gearing up for.
Yeah, you just took it back there. I totally forgot about that era. That particular storyline.
That
In
was a good
that
story.
era. Yeah, like that. That definitely took it back right there. But yeah, no, I could definitely see something like that taking place where both Liv, Raquel, end up turning on Dom, and Finn pretty much beats him down. I even wonder, what role would Carlito play in this? Because he's kind of like the one in the middle, as far as like with everything going on. He's also like the comic relief out of the
Yeah.
group too.
Well,
So
even another thing too that could happen is even if they feel like that Ray and Dom story is too far gone to ever go back there, Rhea's felt like she's missed a beat without Dom. What if Liv turning and Finn turning, leaving Dom high and dry, forces him back to her?
to back to Rhea, yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. That's why I honestly, although I do think there's a good chance Liv and Raquel will probably fight for the tag team titles and could potentially win. I don't think that closes the door on Liv and Rhea. I still think there's still going to be some sort of storyline between the two that could take place down the road.
Liv won the qualifying match, right?
Yes.
I wouldn't be shocked if they ended up not going the EO route if it was Liv and Rhea and we saw a Dom turn there. I mean, you saw the fans a couple months ago, like when Rhea won again and Dom and stuff was there. He was only just playing her. Like the fans are genuinely popping for that.
Right.
That's it's a route they can still go. So I definitely agree with you. Never say never, just because of the Rhea and Dom factor.
Yeah. Rich, you good?
I don't know. The lighting sucks. Can you hear me better?
We
Yeah,
can hear
it's
you
much
much better. You're just in the dark like the Undertaker.
You right now you look like remember that show Deal or No Deal?
Yeah.
You look like the fucking banker up in the top.
you're like Dr. Evil from Inspector Gadget, like the guy we couldn't see right now. It's like no,
But it's definitely a lot better. It's honestly clearer
yeah.
and it's not delayed.
No, I ain't gonna roast you no more.
No, it's okay. I got to work on the lighting. I'm in my son's room, and it's like all black walls and red doors and stuff like that.
Hey man, Amazon LED, get to your crib in 2 days.
Word. All right, I'll be ready for next broadcast.
Got you. But no, we were just talking about possible Finn versus Dirty Dom in the near future. Your thoughts after Monday with Finn storming into the locker room talking about how he was pretty much criticizing Dom about one taking his spot in the tag team title match and blaming Dom for JD's injury. Your thoughts about a potential Dom versus Finn in the near future.
I think they like teasing it. I don't think they're going to actually go with it. That would be like the dismantling of the Judgment Day. If they're going to do that, then I could see that happening. But I think they're just teasing it. I don't really see this happening, or at least short term, I don't see this happening.
I think Judgment Day ran its course, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, if they do that, then yeah, I could see this happening. If they just dismantle, let those two go at each other, it would be a great way to do it. Because I'm tired of the Judgment Day too.
It's wild to say that we're having this conversation because this time last year, it was unfathomable to see a WWE without Judgment Day.
Right.
And now we're talking about we're ready for it to be done.
I mean, keep in mind, this ain't the same Judgment that we had last year.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's wild to see how fast it's transpired.
Right.
In a short year.
Hey, look, people, stars getting healed, getting back into the forefront. Like, so it's like, hey, they got to take advantage. By the way, just another SmackDown update. Alexa Bliss did defeat Candice LeRae to earn a spot in the chamber match. So
Okay,
just
Wow.
wanted to bringing it out there. And
that's pretty cool.
and my guy, I am him, finally got a win. Well, I know I think he had a win before, but he did win tonight. Carmelo Hayes defeating Tozawa. they made up for that spot during the Rumble where he pretty much took him out of the Rumble match. So, but all right, let's switch it a little bit. I do want to talk about this one particular matter that had taken place on Monday, and that is CM Punk, Sami Zayn, and sorry, give me 1 second. Hit the wrong button. CM Punk and Sami Zayn and their match on Monday. Even prior to the match, there were a couple of segments that were going on
It's weird.
with you know what I mean, like with Sammy greeting Jay, congratulating him on winning the Rumble match. Jay was telling Sammy like, look, I didn't really mean to hit you, things like that. Sammy was like, no, it's cool, man, it's cool. And then fast forward, we had Seth come to the ring where he was talking about everyone, including Roman, CM Punk, as well as Sami Zayn. When Sammy came to the ring, and he basically was saying how it was like he was feeding into Sammy's brain as far as like how Punk was talking about how he doesn't respect him, that he's above him, like he can walk the ropes, walk circles around him. And it just seemed like Seth was like planting these seeds and into the brain of Sami Zayn prior to his match with Punk, which we end up having. Punk did end up winning. They shook hands at the end of the match. Then there was this moment where Punk was getting ready to leave the ring. Then you saw Zayn still looking at Punk as if like he was getting ready to approach him. And then we just had like this abrupt attack from Kevin Owens, which hit Sammy, which caused Punk to go out of the ring. And then he proceeded to just, continue to beat down on Sami Zayn at the end of the match. Hit him with the spike power driver. And it looks like there's a chance, and don't quote me on this, I don't know, is now Sami Zayn going to be written off of television for the next couple of weeks? Question mark. Something that we're probably gonna see.
We don't write people off TV. We killed Gable and had his head leaking.
Yeah,
And he's
true.
on the show the very next week, so we
Yeah.
don't believe in killing people off.
This is true. He just had a concussion. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I didn't know if it was even that.
You know something, Hawk, though? That Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins spot was very strange.
Yeah.
And here's why. We knew that Sammy versus CM Punk was happening next after that spot, right?
Yes.
Meaning that everyone knows that CM Punk is in Gorilla, like waiting to come out, right? Like,
Yeah.
everyone knows that. So for Seth to be spit in his mouth for that long, and CM Punk doesn't come out to stop it, to me, I felt like that spot went too long before Punk cut it off. Like the second that Seth started talking shit about Punk, we had to have Punk come out to be believable. Like to
Right.
me, it seemed like they allowed it for too long to go on.
Now I see what you're saying, and I kind of agree. Only to the spot where eventually Punk did come out, and then they had that little moment where it's like they had like their little Jerry Springer spat in the entrance, along the aisle, where they were trying to get at each other, before Punk could get to the ring. They security, they did a phenomenal job as far as like making sure nothing happened.
Security, it was 2 refs.
I know. No, well, it was a few refs, if I'm not mistaken. But security, refs, whoever it was, they pretty much held it down as far as them not being able to like really get into a true fight. But it was a little bit drawn out. but I think that's kind of on the fault of Seth and his promo. Leading up, you know what I mean, leading into that particular match. Like I see where the writers were going with it for it to lead into the match. But that's why it kind of leads me to the question as far as like, you know, like the X factor of out of all of this was Sami.
Yeah.
With, you know, like if you really look at everything that happened that night, it's almost like, you know, Sami was on like, I don't want to say like the apologetic tour where he, like, you know what I mean, he made amends with Jay during the show. Then we had this moment where Seth was you know what I mean, planting these seeds, and then we get KO coming out attacking Sami, which, you know, he then ran into Punk. So I mean, Punk gotta understand that this was KO that caused this, you know what I mean, caused him to, you know, to fall out of the ring as he did. And then we had KO wearing this like cryptid shirt talking about, what's that, Sami Zayn forever? Is that, if not mistaken, like, is that what the shirt has said?
Yeah.
Like, it was weird.
Yeah.
Like it definitely was weird, but I'm totally invested to see where it's going to go, because to me, I feel like there's a mind game that's being played, not only with Kevin Owens, but I also think the mind game is also coming from Seth Rollins as well.
Yeah, I think when it's all said and done, some way or another, these all intertwine, whether it's they're all teaming up together or something, but I think it's all gonna come back some way. I don't know how, but we've been saying it for weeks now that we felt this way, and I think this
Yeah.
even showed it more.
Yeah, and think about it. Think about the swerve the WWE tried to put in place with us, as far as Sami talking with like Solo and you know, and those members of the bloodline.
Yeah.
Like that's like totally, you know, long gone with what's going on right now. Like, I don't know. I feel like what they're doing with Sami eventually, because one, he you know, he came out on the losing end, you know what I mean, for the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. He lost. I mean, of course, we all know he lost,
Which was terrible
you know what I
because
mean,
in
the Rumble.
Toronto.
Right. Yeah, true. Maybe that's probably where everything falls into place, and like maybe we get a loose cannon
Yeah.
Sami Zayn coming. Like we get that. Like he finally like loses his shit. Like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm done with this. I'm done with that. Like, you know what?
Nice guys finished last. I'm done.
Right. And maybe he doesn't even like really, you know, make himself align himself with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins immediately. Like maybe he just like go on like this, like, you know, lone wolf type of thing. Like, you know what? Like, I'm a man.
So-
I'm gonna do everything, you know what I mean, on my end.
So with that being said, who do you see him feuding with first when he gets back, or going after when he gets back first?
Honestly, the only logical sense that could come out of this is Jay winning the title at Mania against Gunther, and then Sami loses his shit the night after Mania, and he just like beats the hell out of Jey Uso.
Yeah, I like that. That makes sense.
That's possible. Trying to think overall. I also wouldn't be shocked to see Roman in some way, because initially this all started because of Roman, you know, and
Right.
him teaming with Roman. Wouldn't be shocked. That wouldn't shock me, but also I would be shocked if we saw Seth too.
Yeah. True. For some reason, my cynical mind thinks we may get a Roman Seth at Mania.
That'd be good.
If it's not Mania, 1000% by SummerSlam. But that's too
I
far
wouldn't have been
away.
shocked if it was, because who was fighting outside? Roman, Seth, and Punk.
Punk, yeah,
Yes.
triple threat.
I wouldn't be shocked if that ends up being Punk's favor. Like, Roman and Seth are preoccupied with each other, and Punk's pissed off because he wants to beat up Seth still. So the favor is to add him into that match.
You know what? Good point. Very, very good point. That's actually a really good point.
Yeah, I'm just like spitting over here.
Hey man, you spit hot fire. But yeah, no, like I could definitely see something like that. But at some point, it just seemed like Sammy's catching a lot of hell.
Yeah.
And like
I'm a little worried though, bro. I really am. Like,
oh shit.
what?
We got breaking news. According to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful, Sonya Deville has been informed WWE will not be renewing her contract.
Wow.
It's not really too shocking. But you know what I'm concerned with?
Hey, that's some sympathy.
You know what I'm concerned
Like
with?
I saw that coming. Whatever.
Translation, he was like, who gives a fuck? You know what I saw coming?
But no, but seriously, like what I'm concerned with is how much overlap there is in these stories at the top of the card. It's a lot of them are standing on their own.
True. And that's a good problem for WWE right now. It's a good problem.
But is it a good problem? Because one injury could derail the whole thing.
But see, that's the thing. They dealt with that over the last year. Because think about it. That's what pretty much rewritten Mania last year because of the injuries. Now that everyone are healed, it's like you can go any way at this point. But right now, it seemed like the logical sense is, well, one, Jay Gunther. So now it's like, who's really going to fight Cody? To me, at this point, I really don't know. Like, I really do not know who's going to fight Cody at Mania right now. As much as I want to speculate, as much as I thought it could be CM Punk, I don't know. I really do not know. But whatever,
the only way it could be CM Punk is if it was like Punk and Cena the final two, and Punk did some like heelish shit.
Right.
So I'm not cool with a face Punk versus a face Cody at WrestleMania.
No.
No, I'm with you on that. I think it will begin to be telling once the men's chamber match is finally, set up, and we see all the participants that are going to be in it.
Yeah.
When we see that, then it's going to be like, all right, we got an idea as far as who's going to be fighting Cody at Mania. But yeah, right now, I have no idea. Now let me ask y'all a question. Would y'all be opposed to somehow Kevin Owens getting in a chamber match, winning, and fighting Cody again at Mania?
It would be a good match, but I think it would just be overkill. I mean, we've seen it how many times, and you kind of know what the outcome, unless this is a different outcome and Kevin Owens wins and takes the title off Cody. I just wouldn't be that vested in it, being that I've seen, these guys went through ladders together. These guys put each other through hell. Like, where do you go from there?
Right.
So, I mean, it wouldn't be terrible, but I think they could do a lot other, dream matches or money matches with Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I honestly, like, back to your question about Cody.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's because like we said earlier, there's not many heels. There's not a whole lot of heels right now where you can legitimately point at and say he can beat Cody.
Right. I don't know if you heard the question that I just threw out there.
No, I hear a question about Kevin Owens and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against it because, again, getting back to what I just said about the heels and not much to fight Cody, KO has been the only opponent that Cody's had since he's won that belt where, like, I personally said I wouldn't be shocked if Kevin Owens won the belt. Every other match, I felt like a foregone conclusion that Cody was winning the belt.
Right.
And not winning, but retaining.
Right.
I wasn't so sure Royal Rumble that Cody was retaining. You kind of thought, but there was also that thought that creeps in your mind that it wouldn't be so horrible if KO won. So having KO in there and even possibly winning, I wouldn't be against it just because of what transpired and like leading up to it. Who else
Yeah.
is realistically an option?
Damn, we
You
got
know,
another.
KO
Go ahead.
winning, I wouldn't mind it as much with KO winning at Mania.
If KO wins, I think he. I was about to say, if KO somehow gets in, to the chamber and wins, I think he wins the title at Mania.
I think he has to. There.
Not to
Has he ever
mention,
had like a huge, other than the tag title? Has he ever had a huge like Mania moment?
no.
No, Stone Cold.
Well, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Stone Cold moment.
But he's never had a moment like on his own to be triumphed.
Right. Right. No, I agree. I agree. We just had another release that just happened. I actually like this girl too.
And I think
thought
he just
she might
signed a
have
new
future.
5-year deal too. KO.
Yeah, he did just today,
So.
actually. Another release, Blair Davenport.
Really?
Yeah, has been released. I actually thought she had a promising future.
She was on AEW.
I mean, NXT. Wait, at
No,
one point,
she was on
AEW.
AEW.
She was at one point. Yeah,
She was like one of the original women's
Yes.
wrestlers. And
Yes.
then when COVID hit, she was stuck in UK and there was a travel ban.
That's right.
So they cut her and then she went to NXT.
Right.
So that could be a good get for them to bring her back.
Yeah. Speaking of AEW, I do gotta be touch on this before we
No.
be taking home. no. I got well. First and foremost, Ricochet defeated Swerve Strickland on Wednesday. I don't know if y'all saw, if y'all watched this match. Yo, this match was fire. Like
It's been very hard to watch AEW, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, man.
I loved AEW, but just
the
the
last 2
matches are
weeks
so good. But
the last 2 weeks been pretty dope. I gotta give it.
I heard
them.
this week was fire, so I'll catch this week because I heard it was really good.
Yeah,
but that's never the issue. Isn't ever the wrestling. The wrestling's always good. It's connecting the dots week to week to get to that pay-per-view. That's always shitty.
Yeah, one thing I will say, I think they're beginning to hit the mark as far as like the storytelling and like who's where they're getting ready to like who they're building like with the story. So that I personally this week and last week, at first I wasn't even really big on last week's episode until I watched it back. I was like, I said this was a pretty cool episode. This episode this week was actually pretty dope. Like from start to finish, was a pretty dope episode.
You know my biggest beef with them, Hawk?
What's that?
It's like someone will be like in a big feud, right? Like be going good and stuff like that. Then they'll just disappear off TV and not be seen for 3 months.
Right. I think they're learning from that now, because from the past 2 weeks, it's been pretty consistent as far as like the stars that's been on television.
Okay.
And between like Ricochet and Swerve, I mean, this been building for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
And
this is actually a feud like I think is one of the better feuds right now in AEW, or maybe one of the best feuds in AEW right now.
Yeah.
Just how they continuing to build it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree, and I do like. I like the the feud that's building with Ospreay, Omega, and the Don Callis family right now. Mark Davis is now officially part of the Don Callis family. I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen.
Doctor.
Yes, but that was pretty cool. But to me, what did still a little bit of the night, it was one Tony Storm. So I don't know if you probably didn't see this, but
Mariah May Storm.
Mariah May came out, to sit ringside for Tony's match with Queen Aminata. So she decided to portray the role as Mariah May for this match. And I know Chris wanted to talk about this. I wanted to try to get it in there before he left tonight.
Did you get the one shot?
Which one? Oh, I didn't get a lot of the shots, but I just got a few. But what's the name? Mariah May's reaction, seeing herself through Tony Storm. Like it was hilarious. But this was I'm really looking forward to this match coming up on Saturday because they're over in going to be over in Australia. Like between these two, I think they really got a good story going on. I know the shot you probably referencing when she was on the mat. That is, but no, I didn't get that. Joey, sorry.
This story is so well done. I really wish we had more of the Tony Storm, like the newcomer character.
Yeah,
A couple more weeks of that. I think this kind of happened too fast, and they could have drug it out a little more. But I'm not mad across the board. This is one of my favorite storylines.
yeah. I mean, considering the nature of the scheduling and with them coming up, coming up in Australia, like you got to pull the trigger on it. You know what I mean? Now, like this is like the best opportunity to do it, especially and Tony Storm's country. So it's definitely this is probably going to be the main event of the evening when it happens.
Yeah.
For the morning for us because it's
Yeah.
going to be going to be on early in the morning. But yeah, man, I'm starting to come back around again on AEW. I was like, y'all had me lost for a while, but I'm starting to come back. Like, all right, I see what y'all got going on here.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Does Moxley annoy anybody else here? He just
to me, it's not Moxley. It's just whole Death Riders faction.
It's just the same shit.
Did you see MJF?
Yes.
Did you see that, Hawk?
As far as like on Wednesday?
No. So he was at a con, I guess, this past weekend, and something happened where fans brought up like the crowd size and stuff like that. He made a comment to the fan. He was like, "Shocking. So when we had our biggest crowd, who was champion? Oh, that's right, me. Now you have me in bullshit, pretty much nothing storylines, and look what's happening." He was like, "Have fun with John Moxley, though. He's doing so great for the company."
Oh wow, that's crazy. Now is that like? I mean,
think that's legit. I think that's legitimate. Him.
You think MJF feeling some type still not holding on to that title?
I mean, it's not even holding on to the title. It's what
Or
he's
just like-
done
Right.
since he's re-signed with the company. It's been very lackluster.
Yeah. No, this is true. And don't get me wrong. Like I know Moxley is like trying to tell the story, talking about bringing like the sport back, this and that. But like technically, you ain't really bringing it back because you're doing the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Each week for the most part. Like them, not saying everyone else that's like on the roster. No, this is just them that's doing this. Like being like that bully effect. Like everything else has like a I won't say true story, but has a story that can develop into something to have someone or a fan to say, hey, you know what? I'm interested in this. Like, I want to see, how far this is going to go.
Well, shit. I think handcuff this story with Moxley and stuff from the jump. I think there was too many people involved.
Yes.
I think when you do an us versus them storyline and it drags on for too long, fans lose a little bit of patience with it. I think this is going on too long with too many different people.
Right. And I agree with you. That is a problem because it's like when it comes to Moxley, he's going to be within a faction. So therefore, you're going to have some sort of baby face. And like it's almost like having your Avengers group, to fight the Death Riders.
Yeah.
Which is now Cope. I can't stand that name, by the way. I just can't. Like, that's another thing. With all due respect, Edge, Hall of Famer, this and that, yada yada yada. I could do without you in
It's
AEW.
been a long day.
Exactly. Like I could.
He needs to drift off into the sunset.
Exactly. Like I could do without you. Like another thing that I enjoyed on Dynamite was like the MJF segment where like he was talking shit. Of course they're tailoring off of the him and Jarrett storyline. He's actually getting ready to fight Dustin next week. But long story short, it looks like him and I'm about to say MGF again. It looks like there's a possible chance of him and Hangman going into a feud at some point, which all would had a little assistance from the best wrestler in the world, Max Caster, coming into the ring. I like, you know what I mean, where they got him going right now. A little bit on a joking, the punch, being a punchline person. So it's a little different, you know what I mean, with him not rapping, but a little bit of the comic relief, so to speak. So I do like where they're going with that. And we'll see. Like, see, that's another thing too with them. Like, y'all have talent now, and it's all about the delivery as far as like this, telling the stories on TV and how much you're going to take advantage of that on television as well. But I don't understand somehow, some way, the product from Wednesday and the product on Saturday is always a 180 difference. I don't understand how. Like, I need answers to that. Like, Tony,
Yeah,
TJ,
there's no answers to that publicly.
yeah. So, but yeah, man. I mean, there's so much that went on this week. We could definitely, keep going on and on and on and on. But we ain't going to get handcuffed too long. We're already at the hour and 45-minute mark. So, before we do kick out of here, I do want to mention I did see, was it yesterday, that one CEO is making a House of Glory appearance March 15th. Mercedes. Yeah, I'm thinking about making this trip to New York for this. Like,
I'm going to be there. So
you're definitely going? Okay,
I'm definitely going to be there. Yep.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about this one because March 15th, that's on a Saturday, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I might have to beat on the away team this this time. Like,
about time.
Take that trip.
Oh, 1 second. I'll still here, guys.
All right. But yeah, I saw that. I was like, huh, interesting. I was like, okay. So yeah, but well, I got, man, if I do go, I'm gonna have to get my traditional ringside seat.
Of course.
So, but yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh shit. I was like, Mercedes? Oh yeah.
I will tell you something. The ringside seats though do go pretty fast at those events.
Now, as of tonight, I did see they still have some available. Knock on wood. But
yeah, no, they're gonna go quick, especially now with the announcement.
So why they're going so big is because this is GCW's return to AC.
Oh, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That same weekend?
Yeah, 15th and 16th.
Oh, wow. Huh. Interesting. But yeah, I'm like, okay, CEO making the House of Glory appearance. Like, I got to see that. Got to see it. So, but yeah, I definitely want to take that out. I don't know how much of House of Glory y'all been watching, but I ain't gonna lie, they've been having me on the edge of my seat with main event. I'm like, yo, they about to break up. Oh, it didn't happen. They about to break up. Oh, it didn't happen. After their match with the Hardys, and there was the spot, unfortunately, I think it was Midas, caused Lion to lose the match. I was like, oh man, they about to break my guys up. Oh shit, we got another breaking news. It just happened. Solo is back and just took out Cody tonight at the end of SmackDown. Literally, just at the end. Just like literally just happened, man. So looks like Solo is not out the picture yet.
Nope.
He's back. So but we'll touch on that, pause, a little bit more next week. We'll see what develops over the weekend and throughout the course of the week. So gentlemen, anything else before we get on out of here?
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
All right, go Birds. Say
it like you mean it, Rich. Say no.
Listen,
I know you don't.
It's Kansas City and Philly. I mean, as a Giant fan, that just sucks. I'm not gonna lie, but it's good to see Saquon in a championship. He's with a team where he belongs, where he can actually win a championship. So I do like him. I always did. So I don't know how the GM for the Giants is still the GM there after letting that happen.
He's having a lot of sleepless nights.
Seriously,
Yeah, right?
just ridiculous. But as long as Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift aren't there smiling at the end and happy, that'll mean a lot to me. So I'm so sick of seeing it, dude.
Gotcha. So we'll see what happens. Shout out to the birds. We see what happened on Sunday. So, all right, gentlemen, this was Still Steps, brought to you tonight by All Authentic Talk Sports Network. Mr. Joey Woods, Mr. Rich Michaels. I am Politic and Hot, and we'll holler at y'all next Friday. Till then, peace.